Warning: some viewers may find the following content to be disturbing. Viewers' discretion is advised. Hello my dorks, it's the Dark Author here, and welcome back to episode 5 of Creepypasta Debunking. Anyways, what have we got in sight for the 5th episode? Let's take a look at Disney for the first time in this series, and let's have a look at Suicidemouse.avi. Besides Abandoned by Disney, this is by far the most famous Disney creepypasta, and one of my favourites I guess. I mean, it's okay, it's just iconic. But I like it more than Abandoned by Disney, but I will cover Abandoned by Disney in the future. That is a guaranteed one in the debunking. Anyways though, let's get on to the evidence, theories, and let's ask the question, is Suicidemouse real or fake? Let's find out. Now I have already read Suicidemouse.avi, the creepypasta, but it was one of the first ever stories I did like 6-7 months ago on the channel, so I'm going to read it word for word again on here, just to make up for it, you know, it'll be better quality and whatnot. But without further ado, let's get to the story. So do any of you remember those Mickey Mouse cartoons from the 1930s? The one that were just put on DVD a few years ago? Well, I hear that there is one that was unreleased to even the most avid of Disney fans. According to sources, it's nothing special. It's just a continuous loop, like the Flintstones, of Mickey walking past 6 buildings that goes on for 2 or 3 minutes before fading out. Unlike the cutesy tunes put in through, the song on this cartoon wasn't a song at all. Just a constant banging on a piano for 1.5 minutes before going to white noise for the remainder of the film. This wasn't the jolly old Mickey we've come to love either. Mickey wasn't dancing, nor smiling. He was just walking, as if you and I were walking, with a completely normal facial expression. But for some reason, his head tilted side to side, as he kept this dismal look. Up until a year or 2 ago, everybody believed that after it cut to black, that was it. When Leonard Matlin was reviewing the cartoons we put in the complete series, he decided it was too junk to be on the DVD, but he wanted to have a digital copy due to the fact it was a creation of Walt's. When he had a digitalized version up on his computer, he took a look at the file, and he noticed something. The cartoon was actually 9 minutes and 4 seconds long. This is what my source emailed to me, in full. He is a personal assistant of one of the higher executives at Disney, and an acquaintance of Mr. Matlin himself. After it cut to black, it stayed like that until the 6th minute, before going back into Mickey walking. The sound was different this time. It was a murmur. It wasn't a language, but more like a gurgled cry, as the noise got more indistinguishable and loud over the next minute. The picture began to get weird. The sidewalk started to go in directions that seemed impossible based on the physics of Mickey walking, and the dismal face of the mouse was curling into a smirk. On the 7th minute mark, the murmur turned into a blood-curdling scream, the kind of scream that was painful to hear, and the picture was getting more obscure. Colours were happening that shouldn't have been possible at the time. Mickey's face began to fall apart. His eyes rolled on the bottom of his chin like 2 marbles on a fishbowl, and his curled smile was pointing upward on the left side of his face. The buildings became rubble, floating in midair, and the sidewalk was still impossibly navigating in what directions, a few seeming inconceivable with what we as humans know about direction. Mr. Matlin got disturbed and left the room, sending an employee to finish the video and take notes of everything happening until the last second, and afterward immediately stored the disc of the cartoon into the vault. The distorted screaming lasted until the 8 minutes, and a few seconds in, then it abruptly cuts to the Mickey Mouse face at the credits at the end of the video, with what sounded like a broken music box playing in the background. This happened for about 30 seconds, and whatever was in that remaining 30 seconds, I haven't been able to get a sliver of information about. From a security guard working under me, who was making rounds outside of the room. I was told that after the last frame, the employee stumbled out of the room, with pale skin, saying, "Real suffering is not known," 7 times, before speedily taking the guard's pistol and offing himself right there on the spot. The thing I could get out of Leonard Matlin was that the last frame was a piece of Russian text that roughly said, "The sights of hell bring its viewers back in." As far as I know, no one else has seen it, but there has been dozens of attempts to get the file on rapid share by employees inside the studios, all of whom have been promptly terminated of their jobs. Whether it got online or not is up for debate, but if the rumours serve me right, it's online somewhere under Suicidemouse.avi. If you ever find a copy of the film, I want you to never view it, and to contact me by phone immediately, regardless of the time. When a Disney death is covered up as well as this, it means that it has to be something huge. Get back to me. TR. I've yet to find a copy of this, but it has to be out there. I know it. So then, that was the story of Suicidemouse.avi. A pretty good one from what I know. However, some parts of it were a bit weird, as you know. It is a very old creepypasta after all, one of the first. But anyways, let's get on to the topic in hand. Is Suicidemouse.avi real, or is it another hoax? Well, no. Of course it's not real. There's quite a lot of evidence saying that it's not real, and we're going to discuss said evidence right now. First off, if this story was 100% real, and it actually happened and was made by Disney and was confirmed legit, don't you think Disney would have tried to cover this up? I'm sure this was infringement of copyright, and Disney would just do everything in their power to cover this up. If that's the case, then how comes there's like so many videos of Suicidemouse on YouTube? It doesn't make sense. Also, you have to realise, if this tape actually caused somebody to die, this would be massive news. Think about it. So if a person actually died from a video, everybody would go crazy for it, like there would be tons of news reports all on this, and Disney would be in some very hot water. But you don't see that happening now, do you? Also, as I've discussed in pretty much every single one of my Creepypasta Debunking videos, it is impossible for a piece of media to kill you. No matter what is on the media, the tape, the video game, whatever you want to call this, you will never die from it. It is physically impossible. Now, it may make you disturbed, but overall, it can never kill you. However though, I will say this. There is some form of this story that has some kind of credibility. It was called Mickey Mouse in Hell. It was essentially an old video, made around the 1930s as well, about Mickey Mouse going to hell. Yes, it was different times, my friends. So this was 100% a concept. So the theory is that the Mickey walking is completely plausible, like that could have existed, and it would transition into him being in hell. Also, there's the second inspiration for Suicidemouse, which is actually a comic that was made by Walt early in Mickey's life. It was about Mickey trying to kill himself because he found that Minnie Mouse was cheating on him. He tries to kill himself in many ways, like with a shotgun, cyanide poisoning, and other things. Also, I'm going to show you this picture. Now, does this seem familiar to anybody? It should, because this is literally Mickey Mouse's walking pose from the story. So yes, I believe this Suicidemouse.avi story was inspired by this old cartoon by Walt, the Mickey Mouse Goes to Hell, like the whole concept, and based on the comic that Walt made about Mickey trying to kill himself. It was parodying another old film. I don't know what exactly it was, but I know it's out there. Don't forget though, rumours like this have actually been known to exist, like old Disney rumours. Another example would be the Mickey and Minnie Mouse sex tape. Yeah, I'm not kidding. That is a real Disney urban legend, and it also has kind of some form of credibility, but I'm not going into that, for obvious reasons. So here is the evidence, and the reasons why I believe Suicidemouse.avi is fake. So in conclusion, this is just an old story, it's not real in any way, and it was simply based off of some old Disney comics and media. So overall, Suicidemouse.avi is not real, in my opinion. If you still believe Suicidemouse.avi is real, that's perfectly fine. At the end of the day, you're all entitled to your own opinions. But you shouldn't have to worry about this tape causing you to die or some other crazy stuff. In reality, it's fan-made. Also, all the creepypasta videos of Suicidemouse, which I've actually covered in my ranking all of them, they're all fake. One of them is the closest rendition, not the original one. Gorux' videos, he said it was his free interpretation. The HQ remake is just a remake of an old idea, so it's not real. Diamond Miner Studios and Toad Animations videos, all fake. All in the description, they said it's not real. So all the stories that are on YouTube, all the videos, they're not real in the slightest, and they're all made for entertainment. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this debunking video and you'd like to see some more, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can stay up to date with my latest video, and comment down below what creepypasta should I tackle next in the debunking. Anyways, this has been the Dark Author. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm now signing off.